Hey Sarnia, I'm Katie Horvath. This is called Into the City. I'm here today with Matt Mitro. Matt is a councillor currently on City Council. He's running again in the upcoming municipal election.
Yes, I am.
So there's anybody that's been following politics obviously knows who you are, but for those who don't, the new viewers, the new voters,
Sure.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I am Matt Mitro. By the time the election rolls around, I'll be 57 years old. Business owner in Sarnia, longtime Sarnia resident since I'm 12 years old. And our company's called Upright Doors. We do garage doors. Myself and my brother are partners in it. And we do a lot of different things in the company. We've done a lot of different business ideas and stuff, run different companies through time. So, long-time business owner, taught at the college. I've been on all kinds of committees.
What did you teach at the college?
I taught business startup. I taught business subjects of various types for about 4 years. Like it was a variety of contracts, so
okay.
That kind of time frame, yeah.
Great. So you mentioned you're a business owner. Obviously you're on council. What is it that you like to do when you're not working? Kind of on
I'm a car guy, so I love working on cars. I love racing, so I follow racing. Up until, unfortunately, the last couple of years it hasn't existed, but Hiawatha had a go-kart series, so I raced in that.
Oh, cool.
I enjoy all kinds of sports, golfing. I don't play baseball as much as I did, but occasionally. And I love events, right? So I try and, one of the things I like about being on council is being able to go to community events. So I go to a lot of stuff, and I'm likely to be seen at all kinds of different things. Enjoy it with my wife. She's retired, I'm not, but we try and travel as much as we have time for. And then we have a cottage up north, so we try and get up to that as well. And all manner of things. I can be found just about anywhere.
Lots of interest, eh? That's good. So what is it about politics that you are so drawn to, and why did you decide to run again for a second term?
I've been a politico, and that's a strange term, but I paid attention to politics since I'm a young kid. I used to love listening to people talking politics as a child. I minored in political science at university. I paid attention to all levels of geopolitical stuff, federal, provincial, municipal. I spent 13 years on the Committee of Adjustment, so I've actually been involved in city politics for quite some time as well. So all kinds of reasons why I'm passionate about how things get done, and I've always wanted to see government rise to its greatest self. And so you're able to do as much with the resources you're given, because it's people's money, and then accomplish as much as you can with the dollars that you're given. And I've seen through time that that's been challenged, that people don't do well in various levels of government at spending wisely and efficiently. So I try to do in my small part as one member of council the best I can with taxpayer money. So.
Okay, great. So at this point in the interview, we'd like to get a little bit into current council reflection. So obviously you were a member of the current council, so you have kind of the insider look. So we'll start with, in general, for the 2014 to 2018 term, could you comment on the...
Sure. I won't kind of haul them out, but there's a couple things that the staff prepared, which is 2015-16 in review, and 2017 to 2020, the strategic plan and some of the goals and accomplishments to date. I thought, it's unfortunately not a well-told story, but we've done phenomenally well in Sarnia at getting ourselves kind of sorted around. I was quite surprised when the term started how far behind we are municipally with what I would assume cities are doing. Just things I've heard in different cities across Ontario.
What's an example?
Well, all of our administrative processes were way behind. We were hideously behind in information technology. It was just horrible. Apparently, according to the people in the consultancy, we were the benchmark for low ebbs. We were that far. So all of that needed to be improved. All the various departments needed restructuring. We needed a lot of work, and it got underway quickly. And Marg Messigowan's and the team that she had assembled were busy because they saw that too. They'd come from different places, so they had a level to which they knew that we, were underperforming, and they wanted to get busy quick. And so I saw, as I got to know them, that they had that kind of passion for it. And I thought, great, I can tell we're that far behind. As a student of government, I kind of understood. And so I said, okay, well, I'm willing to participate as a councillor and talk to my colleagues. And if I have a little bit more understanding, we talk about it in reading reports and then try and work toward that. So I think we've done really good work. The accomplishments these are on the website and for the city are myriad. They're all through all departments and really good work. So unfortunately, not a lot of folks know that in Sarnia. It's been a tough term because of the media messaging. Some members of council haven't wanted to tell that story for a variety of reasons. I've tried to, but you're only as good as what your messaging is. So social media is about the only platform we have. The odd time that you do get interviewed, you can get those points across. But media tends lots of times to focus on the sensational, and they're looking, instead of good news stories, it's okay, something's happening it's a situation, it's a fight or whatever they want to characterize it as, and that's what they focus on. So people in Sarnia think, we're dysfunctional as a council, we haven't got things done. It couldn't be further from the truth. And we just got together every meeting, made decisions, advanced the position of the city all the way along. So that's the story. If I'm a sitting councillor, that I want to tell people that lots of really good work got done. We came to meetings and not that everybody got along all the time, but by and large we got along famously. I like my council compatriots and talked to most of them, lots and lots in many situations. I know them and what they think, and we correspond about the issues that they're passionate about. Everybody has their strengths and the things they want to work on. So I have mine. It's been great. Even when we've disagreed, we move on, right? And then gone on to the next meeting and on to the next agenda and done it again, right? So we've had a lot of very solid votes where it's a majority of council deciding, a large majority of council deciding that this should be our direction.
Okay, so your point of there has been some really good things that have happened, but it's been overshadowed by the not so good things that have happened.
I don't know if I'd put it like that. I would say not overshadowed as much as over-reported. What happened was really tragic, and no one wanted it, no one set it up. It just evolved based on the actions of the individuals. So when you got that done, that was a place in time. It was something that happened, and it was big, but it didn't overshadow the amount of work, the bulk of the time. We were busy doing all kinds of things that worked out well and moved the city forward. Awfully proud of the accomplishments of council. Tough things. The general hospital thing, we took 2 runs at it in this term and finally got it set in a way that people could approve it. It cost money. That's unfortunate. I was the one on the opposite side of the decision. Well, it's time to move on. We're doing it this way, and now I have to accept that that's the way it goes. Centennial Park, people are like, oh my God, it was $10 million plus all that infrastructure money, 13.
Yeah,
whatever.
So that was going to be my next question.
Sure.
So maybe okay, so over-reported then the conflict, the workplace harassment reports. So in regards to Centennial Park, another divisive topic.
Sure, absolutely.
Went over budget. So could you explain kind of a little bit Cliff Notes version behind the scenes, what was going on and why it went over budget?
We inherited this, right? This term of council, we inherited what it was decided before. You go back to the beginning, Golder said that this would cost as much as $10 million, just shy, in their original reporting. Well, it turns out it cost $10 million plus the infrastructure money. So, surprise, surprise, that's what they predicted as the upper limit. We ended up getting to that. We did a lot more work as far as a lot more items in that we changed and provided and improved in the park as part of that. Currently answering a question on one of the sites about the cost of the boat ramps. And why did you have to move the boat ramps? Well, certain of council say you didn't have to. Well, you did. We have a report that says you had to move them. And when the various government ministries say that you must do something that we will approve of, and you send them your plan and they say, nope, you can't do that, you must change it. And that occasions, you know, from a dollar's perspective, a move of the boat ramps. Well, you have to do that. The infrastructure is, it was in the kind of 60, 70-year-old range under the ground. It was absolutely falling apart. Well, you're not going to put brand new park over top of stuff that's falling apart. We had to then do that infrastructure. That's not the park, that's infrastructure money. So again, people don't really understand that. Around the province, what we've done is absolutely revolutionary in saying, okay, you can approve something if you remediate it and say, we'll deal with the worst of it, take it off site, because that's what happened, but we'll keep most of it in place, but ensure that it's not going to cause issues in the future. So let's call it $10 million for a rough figure. It might be a wee bit more than that, but let's say we stuck with that $10 million figure. The per acre cost of a brownfield remediation that we did was way less than everybody else. People throughout the province with these kinds of issues in their communities, and they're everywhere, go, wow, I can't believe you guys did it for that less amount of money. Like, how did you manage that? Well, it's not easy. It's real money. $10 million is a real amount of money, but at the same time, we couldn't leave it alone. We couldn't not deal with it. It was basically reported by you know, admin and the politicians of the time that, oh, well, we don't know what to do. Please help us. Well, they turns out that all of the government agencies won't tell you what to do. They'll just tell you, we'll know if we will approve it when you show it to us. Okay. That has a cost.
Right. So things like that, I guess, it's fair to say that the public is not informed about those types of things.
It's very complex, the way it all weaved around, but that's the basics of it. It's,
right. So on that note, because of maybe a lack of understanding of what's actually going on, you're aware that people are
there's a lot of people that I talk to, and they say, oh, it's ridiculous.
So how could we, moving forward, seek to restore some of that trust and maybe learn from that? How can we, as a city, communicate those types of things a little bit easier?
Well, what this term, and if I'm elected, what I'll continue to do is encourage the city to report in consumable fashion, right? So that we put lots of releases out and package stuff up the best possible. So, for example, tonight is the Sarnia Arena barn bash that they're doing for kind of reopening the facility. And, you know, there's a short video that Rob Harwood, the director of Parks and Rec, did. Well, that's a great way to get a message across. He wanders through the area with the most of the renovations, talks about the project, you know, introduces the fact that tonight there's a celebration of the reopening, tells people, hey, you can still contribute to the fundraise part of the project. People will watch a video that's, I don't know how long it is, a minute and a half or something like that, right?
That's right, yeah. And so that's a good way of putting it too, the consumable bits, because that is what our society is now.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, otherwise, I mean, we have 500 to 700 page agendas on a regular basis. Yes. So that is tough sledding. Most of that is tough information to go through. Yeah. You have to read for content and you know, understand, because they're really complex ideas that are being put through. Most people don't understand, like I mean, you have to hear it on the radio in a news clip that's a total of 30 seconds long. Yes. And so they little tiny bit, and it's not really right, and so people will make you know, a determination what they think based on that and something they heard from someone, let's say, or you know, something they saw, and that may or may not be accurate. And so then very quickly, if someone reinforces it from the political side and does so incorrectly and for whatever reason, that all of a sudden it's stuck, right? If I have to really watch what I say to make sure that I'm correctly characterizing what the problem is, what we're doing about it. I don't speak for staff, I speak for my understanding as a politician who has this group of administrators and staff that do the work. I don't do the work, right? So.
And this was kind of a concept that inspired some of, well, for vocalized learning, just about the idea that nobody will read through hundreds and hundreds of pages.
Sure.
But so, yeah, that concept's interesting to me, but that's, it's not about that right now, this is about you. So let's move into we'll go part 3, and this is all about you, all about your platform and what you're kind of running on. So what are the 3 most important issues that you think the people of Sarnia are facing right now?
Well, I'm very concerned about our infrastructure state. So how do you update? By the time this term gets into the heart of it, then it won't even be the total yet. It'll be over $400 million in failure, right? So our infrastructure, there's $400 million worth of infrastructure in full failure. So that can be broken sidewalks. It can be, very tenuously connected pipes that are ready to break at any moment, bad roads, all that kind of stuff. Bad buildings, the likes of what happened with the Kinsman Center, for example, and that. We have lots of old stuff that's not been, updated, and I can't blame that directly on anybody or anything. It's just happening throughout Ontario. Sarnia's had a tough go economically, and so that's part of what it is. It's up to council to make some tough decisions. Do we raise taxes? Do we borrow more than we have? How might we accomplish that? So I see us being able to do certain things here. Staff's got really good at, basically levering money out of the upper tier governments. They arguably should be giving us way more money than they do, because you can't really do this on property taxes. You can't raise property taxes enough to catch up. Oh my God, and that just starts it. That's full failure. Right. If you wanted to get us into a spot where you said, okay, we're in fair condition. Well, that number is more like 700 million, right? So, it's basically a tough thing to do, and it's going to take all hands on deck to do it. What I see us being able to do better than we do is think outside the box and innovate. I call it levering our assets. We have these things. We need to be better at doing kind of value-added things where we can have others tap into what we have and provide us with income back. So a facility that we own, for example, and someone else operates for us, right? We have to get better at doing those deals. We have to charge appropriately for them. We have to think about other ways in which we can do those things. And I mean, they will be net things that people can use. So the downtown Wi-Fi project now will be, it'll cost next to nothing, and then it's a revenue opportunity for providers to tap into, for businesses to basically work with us in these partnerships, so that we realize income out of it. We provide a service that basically is consumed, and thinking and acting in a fashion that's more business-like for the various departments and units of the city. So you've done a ton of it already. I know it's something that can work. As a business person, that's what I communicate when I talk to the senior staffers that are the level that I can communicate with, and exchange ideas with them. Then it's up to me to take that to council and put it through if it needs it. Sometimes that discussion with the CAO or with the senior staff results in something that they can act on right away, and that's great. Initiatives, I'm thinking of, we're not going to be able to pave all these roads. I'd like to see us do better, instead of just dropping cold patch and smoothing it over, do better small area paving, right? So that we establish a way in which we can do it with more modern equipment, and we have a task like I call it a crack paving team. You have somebody, a group of people that are out there doing that. There's no reason that they can't actually, if they're not busy all the time, if they're not competing with, there's not really enough paving companies around to do small jobs, they could do a small job, have it pay $50,000, it only costs $30,000, $20,000 goes into the paving budget, right? Okay. So all that kind of stuff is the kind of way that I think that's my business experience coming through. Okay,
so you've got outside the box thinking, you've got infrastructure. What's one more issue that's kind of close to your heart that you're running on again?
You know what? Transparency. So I don't, we all do better if everyone knows what the political side is up to. right? There should be no secrets. There should be no, you should know exactly what it is that's going on. The new website that's coming through will be great as far as its ability. It's being developed with all kinds of other municipalities in Ontario. It's open source based, and we're doing a lot of work with open source. So we're making solutions that work for us. We'll build in the ability so that, don't take my word for it. I could be lying to you. You go find out for yourself. You can see that report. You can do the background dig to find out what, for example, a Centennial Park, how did it start? Where did it come from? What were all the reports? When did it change? Why did we spend more money than we originally said we were, and all that?
All these questions.
Yeah, which are things that people want to find out.
Exactly, yeah.
Right now, with the way that the structure is, very hard to do.
It is, yes, I agree with that. So I'm totally undecided. I'm still getting to know all the candidates.
Sure.
I'm still conducting interviews. I don't know who I'm going to vote for. So my question is, and there's a ton of people that feel like me, there's just so many to choose from.
Sure.
Why should I vote for you?
I think I've proven my worth in the sense that I've done a lot of work. I put in, I'm still, actively participating in my business. It's hard to put in the amount of time I've done, but I've brought the abilities and skills and knowledge base that I have to bear on all of the various city problems. I'm a diplomatic sort, so I negotiate well with whoever. It doesn't matter to me, because on my side there's 3 new members no matter what, right? I'm the only incumbent running on the city only side. And so I have a good way about me, an ability to work with just about anybody as long as they're willing to talk and work. And so I think I can bring that, I've done it already. I can bring that forward to now the new group that will be on council. I just really know that Sarnia is, we're just on the edge of greatness in this city, I swear. It's really, we've done a lot of work, and the reason I'm running again, I want to finish, helping that move along. I think I'm a guy that can do that, and that's why I'm running.
Okay. So we covered a lot in a short period of time. That's it for questions that I'm going to ask you now, but I do want to give you the opportunity if there's anything else that you'd like to add, just kind of your final message for the viewers.
I think that we, in Sarnia, generally, as a general kind of thing, in Sarnia what we need to do is be more positive and congratulatory of ourselves. We've done some amazing things in Sarnia through time. We have some amazing, outstanding citizens that come from Sarnia. We don't think enough of ourselves. We don't vision enough of what we're able to do. And we need to be our better selves more often. And just, we have the ability in Sarnia, unfortunately, to kind of get into a negative loop that serves no one. It's not getting anything accomplished. It's not building people up. It's not being a good way to live. It doesn't feel good. And we have such great amenities, such great people, such great industry and potential here. I want to see us do better at that. And I hope in this coming term of council, if I'm successful, that that's the way it goes, that we have a really good run ahead of us and get there.
Okay, great. Thanks for coming to talk to me today.
No problem, Katie. Thanks for having me, and I really appreciate the opportunity, and thanks for watching, I guess.
All right, great. So this has been Matt Mitro. If you like what Matt has to say, definitely vote for him. Polls open online October 11th through to October 22nd, the actual election day. Again, I'm Katie Horvath. This has been Matt Mitro. Thanks for watching.
Thanks a lot.